All right, let's talk about revolutions. You know, the kind people are always saying are just around the corner. Well, today, we're diving into one that is already kicking down the door, how large language models are completely tearing up the old rulebook for business automation. Let's get right into it. I want to start with just one number, 900. What is that? Well, that's the estimated efficiency gain, the improvement of large language models in just the last 2 years. Think about that. That's not just a small step forward, it's a quantum leap. And it's all thanks to massive cost reductions and some serious algorithmic breakthroughs. This is exactly why a technology that felt like pure sci-fi is suddenly becoming a standard tool in the office. And you can see this shift happening in the market numbers. I mean, look at this. Traditional workflow automation, it's been growing at a respectable but kind of sleepy 9.7% a year. But now look at the projected growth for these new LLM-powered tools. Over 57%. This tells you everything. LLMs aren't just making an old market a little better, they're creating a brand new one that is set to be way, way bigger. It's a whole new ballgame. So, what's really fueling this explosion? Well, it's a huge shift, right? We're moving away from simple bots that just follow a script to truly intelligent systems that can actually think, reason, and adapt on the fly. And the big idea behind all of this is something called hyper-automation. Now, the easiest way to get your head around it is to picture a factory. For years, we've had RPA, or robotic process automation. That's like the big, strong robotic arm on the assembly line, amazing at doing one single task over and over and over. The LLM? That's the new super smart factory supervisor who can see the entire production line, understand really complex customer orders, and tell all those different robotic arms how to work together on something totally new. So let's break down how these pieces fit together. You've got your traditional RPA, which is awesome for repetitive stuff, but completely falls apart if you give it messy, unstructured data. On the flip side, you have a standalone LLM. It's a total genius with language and documents, but it can't actually do anything in the real world. Then there are AI agents that can make decisions, but they don't really have scale. The real magic, the breakthrough, happens when you integrate them all. You get this end-to-end system that is so much more powerful than any of its individual parts. But of course, this revolution isn't playing out the same way everywhere. It's a truly global race. So let's take a quick world tour and see how 4 key regions are forging their own, very different paths. First stop, the US. Right now, the undisputed leader in both investment and actual deployment. Now, the investment numbers are obviously huge, but the stat that really tells the story for me is this one. Nearly 63% of these deployments are on-premise. That paints a really clear picture, doesn't it? For American businesses, especially in sensitive fields like finance and healthcare, security and control are non-negotiable. They want all the power of AI, but they want it kept safe and sound, inside their own 4 walls. Okay, hopping across the pond to Europe, we find a totally different mindset. Here, the focus isn't just on raw power, it's on principle. And this creates a really fascinating dynamic. On one hand, you have soaring adoption rates, a massive 85% in the finance industry alone. But on the other hand, there's this huge demand for what's called responsible AI. With really strict rules like GDPR and the new AI Act, the message from Europe is crystal clear. We want AI that's brilliant, but it absolutely has to be transparent, fair, and ethical. All right, let's head east to Japan, where a deep-rooted industrial heritage is leading to a completely different strategy. Japan's entire approach is built on its culture of monozukuri, this deep-seated pride in the art of superior manufacturing. They already lead the world in robot density. So for Japan, the real prize isn't just about automating spreadsheets. It's about connecting these powerful LLM brains to their gigantic network of robots and smart factories to completely reinvent modern manufacturing. And for our final stop, South Korea, which tells this really interesting story of a market that's moving at 2 different speeds at the same time. On one side, you have these absolute giants like Samsung that are doing world-class, cutting-edge AI implementation. But then there's this huge chasm between them and the smaller businesses, which are lagging way behind. But here's the twist. That gap, it's not a weakness in the market. It's actually a massive, untapped opportunity for anyone who can figure out how to build affordable, easy-to-use LLM tools for everyone else. All right, we've seen the global game plan. Now let's make this all feel a bit more real. Let's look at some specific, concrete examples of how this technology is actually delivering incredible results for some of the biggest companies out there. Let's kick things off with Samsung Insurance. Their problem was a classic one, a major bottleneck. Manually reviewing a single complex insurance claim took, on average, 45 minutes. So they brought in an AI-powered system to help out. And the result? A 67% reduction in processing time. They chopped it all the way down from 45 minutes to just 15. That is a massive efficiency win. And you can see the ripple effect, too. Customer satisfaction scores also shot up by 32%. Faster claims mean happier customers. Simple as that. Okay, next up, Amazon. Their biggest challenge is just mind-boggling scale. I mean, how do you provide accurate, helpful customer service to literally hundreds of millions of people? Well, they gave their human agents an LLM assistant, kind of like a super smart sidekick, to help them find answers faster. The impact on accuracy was immediate, a 45% jump. But here's the real kicker. It wasn't just that the answers got better. This LLM assistant made their agents so much more efficient that the overall throughput, the number of customers they could actually help in a day, increased by 3.5 times. Wow. That is how you tackle customer service on a global scale. So, we've looked at the tech, the global trends, and the real-world results. For this last part, let's try to connect all those dots and figure out where the next big opportunities are just waiting to be grabbed. Okay, let's put it all together. It's pretty clear, right? Each region's unique culture and priorities create a very specific market need. In South Korea, the golden opportunity is bridging that tech gap for small and medium businesses. In Europe, it's all about building that responsible AI that can navigate all the complex regulations. For Japan, the opportunity isn't in the cloud, it's in the physical world, connecting AI to their factories. And in the US, the big money is in building hyper-secure, specialized solutions for those industries where data control is everything. And that really brings us to the core of it. The evidence is overwhelming. This isn't some trend that's coming in the future. It's a revolution that's happening right now, reshaping every single industry in every country. So the final question isn't if this wave is going to have an impact. The only real question is, are you and your business going to be the ones riding it, or are you going to be the ones swept away? Thanks for joining the Explainer.